Well, the US President Donald Trump has threatened to sue the BBC for $1 billion US, that's about $1.5 billion Australian dollars, over an edited video from January 6. It's highlighted problems within the British institution about left-wing bias and could be a costly one unless a full and fair retraction is made. Joining us live is News Corp's Europe correspondent and Sky News contributor Sophie Elsworth. Good morning to you, Sophie. Good evening where you are. So what's the BBC likely to do about this? What's its move going to be from here on?
Great to be with you, Pete. Look, they've been criticised that they're probably not going to change. They've been heavily criticised here in the media that they've got systemic bias throughout the BBC that, of course, is leaning left. And we had on the weekend former UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson calling for Britons to not pay their licence fee because he was so outraged with what they did to Donald Trump. But now we know the US president is now taking steps to sue the BBC. So they are in crisis, Pete, but they are looking for a new Director General and a new news boss and a massive overhaul, because these instances of problems within the ABC and bias just keep on racking up.
Yeah. When I was there, that licence you had to pay is about £150. Is that still the case, Sophie? It's been a while since I lived there.
Inflation, Pete, it's gone up a little bit now. It's about 350 Aussie dollars. So
wow,
it's about 170 pounds. Yeah,
okay.
So it has gone up. But there's a lot of people critical, as it always has been, that why should they pay this, particularly if they don't watch the BBC. So there's criticism about that as well, Pete, but they are in a diabolical state and they have to have a major overhaul because the scandals at the BBC just keep on coming.
Yeah, and it's the Gaza war, it's anti-Trump, it's a whole lot of things, isn't it, that the BBC has been accused of when it comes to that left-wing bias that you refer to, right?
That's right, Pete. You point out a couple of the key ones. There was a Hamas documentary that was narrated by the son of an Hamas minister, which was taken down and the BBC had to apologise. Then we had a band over here, a music band, Bob Vylan, who were calling death to the IDF, that was broadcast live on the BBC numerous times. It took them quite some time to apologise for allowing that to happen. And there's a whole string of events, Pete. There is every front page paper here in the UK has the BBC is in trouble, and they're a long way out of it just at the moment.
What about this Trump threat, Sophie? Do you think, will the BBC apologise? Will it issue a full and fair retraction, which is what the US president is seeking here? Or will it push back and possibly face a $1 billion fine?
Look, Pete, my guess would be that they do what he wants. They apologise. They perhaps pay him some sort of compensation that he's asking for and do what he's asking, because the media coverage here is now saying that this could be a giant mess for the BBC if they are sued by him. We know the US president is litigious. He's not afraid of engaging lawyers, and he will go all the way. So there'll be a lot of lawyers at BBC headquarters racking their brains and figuring how on earth they get out of this mess quickly.
Yeah, because there has been form in the past taking on the American networks. Now he's got his eyes looking overseas at other big networks, and we can see the point here. I think it's likely that that the BBC will have to do something about this because, yeah, he is highly litigious, as you correctly point out, Sophie. We'll leave it there. Talk to you next week.